Day, June 4th. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What a big mouth I have.
Do we have any public participation? Not yet, huh? Okay, let's get to the minutes of May 7th. Do we have any corrections or?
We do have a couple of corrections. Some of them, a couple of grammatical ones, but more importantly, on page 5 of 6, it was felt that that might be a little not understood as clearly, so I changed some of the wording to read after the first paragraph. That stays the same, and then it said they will be discussing the Guilford town line down by Lowry Road, so that was a little bit clearer. And then also put removed later on the third paragraph down there. Later on I took out they will be discussing Lowry Road and moved if everyone is in agreement there will be markers put up up above to the first paragraph there underneath the Guilford town line.
Okay.
Just to make it clearer, and made a slight change on page 6, took out, there was a discussion regarding holding, and just took that out and changed it to the select board meetings will now be held once a month in the summer, because we had discussed it a little bit in the treasurer, and I didn't want it to be redundant.
Okay.
There was a question on whether or not a motion was left out in regards to approval of the police policies. And I went back and reviewed the DVD today and cannot find that motion. I almost can remember it being said, but then I don't find it in the DVD, and it was not in my notes. But I did watch the DVD to make sure. So we will have to approve the policies and procedures tonight.
Okay. We'll do it. We're going to be doing a lot of policies and procedures tonight, so we can quickly approve that with the rest of them.
Chairwoman. On page 2, it's just the first motion on that page, litigation matters, several pending. It's just grammatical,
Oh, yeah.
that's all. Just a little thing. And then I would make a motion to accept the minutes as corrected of Monday, May 7th.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes of Monday, May 7th as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
I don't have a whole lot of remarks to make today, except for I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday. And as a military mom myself, I'd like to thank past and present military people, especially the ones from Vernon, and the families that support them so strongly. So thank you very much for your bravery and your courage and your willingness to defend this country. And Sally's not here yet.
She's upstairs. She's upstairs.
Okay.
Move forward to the cemetery deed.
Yeah.
I need a motion to change the agenda to
Yep.
go to that. So moved.
I'll second. I'm Sally.
It is, but, oh, here comes Sally. Should we wait, just do Sally? Or she doesn't-
I'll withdraw.
Thank you.
You're up.
You're up. Just in time.
It's 6:38.
I'm sorry, Sally, I forgot
We're speedy
today.
tonight.
Stop.
Well, that's okay. That's great.
I'm going to try to come in the morning.
I'm just going to give them both to you. I don't know if you care, Patty. We've had 2 signatures already.
Don't say it like that.
Well, no, I mean if you want to. Sometimes chairs don't.
Got to be good if you two signed it, so. I said it's got to be good if those two signed it, right?
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I hope you did your work. Both of you. I'm coming after you.
You know where I live.
Well, if I can get there. This is a big one. Fancy, aren't I?
I'm impressed.
Are you? It takes a lot to get you impressed, so I'm pleased with myself.
You ready? Madam Chair,
Mr. Miller?
I move that we approve warrants 24 SG accounts payable $47,532.52, 21 S payroll $10,864.64, 22 S payroll $11,058.15, and ratify warrants 23 SG accounts payable $44,768.07, 19S payroll, $11,471.34, 20S payroll, $10,877.53.
It's been moved and seconded to accept warrants 24 SG, accounts payable, $47,532.52, 21S payroll, $10,864.64, and 22S payroll, $11,058.15, and to ratify 23 SG accounts payable, $44,768.07, 19S payroll, $11,471.34, and 20S payroll, $10,877.54. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm going to request an executive session on a personnel matter.
Okay. Do I have a motion, anybody?
Yeah. Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session with our treasurer, Sally Brassor, on a personnel matter, the disclosure of which at this time might be detrimental to the town and/or individuals involved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session with Treasurer Sally on a personnel matter, the disclosure of which at this time might be detrimental to the town and/or individuals involved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Just got comfortable.
It's okay.
I feel like I'm squirming, but I can't help it.
That's what I...
Went into executive session at 6:45, came out at 6:49, no action taken. Okay, I have here a letter from the state of Vermont. It's a letter of agreement for computer appraisal services, and it's basically a bill of $231.85 for the Department of Taxes for the computer appraisal system that they use. So I need a motion to approve it and sign it.
So moved.
It's
Second.
been moved and seconded, no one wanted to say it all, to sign the letter of agreement for computer appraisal services by the Tax Department of the State of Vermont. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. And this is with the invoice too, so. Okay. We have two things from the library here. One is to appoint Ellen Merkel and Brona Slockaver
Somebody's going to get me spellings on
to
that.
the Board of Trustees for the library. Ellen is a one-year term, and Brona is to fill the two-year term of the two-year term of Joanne Knowles. Ellen is replacing Carol Richardson, who has retired from the board and is moving out of town, or has moved out of town. So if I can have a motion to appoint these two wonderful...
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Ellen Merkel and for a one-year term of the Board of Trustees at the Vernon Free Library, and Brona Slockaver for a two-year term as a Board of Trustee for the library, and I'd like to personally thank them for being willing to volunteer their time. Also, Dick, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And I'd like to thank them very much for their willingness to volunteer for the town. I also got a letter from the director of the library and Janice Pereira as the chair of the Board of Trustees. They were approved at town meeting for 2 new computers, but their system isn't updated enough yet for the computers, so they'd like permission to carry over the money into next year's budget so that they can get the system updated and then buy the computers. And I think we need a vote on that because it was approved at town meeting, so anybody?
I'll make the motion.
You guys are great tonight, make me think. It has been approved and seconded to allow the library to roll over the money for the computers into next year's budget. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do you need these?
I'll take that. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You have to stick around for one more thing.
Okay, I'll just sit.
We
in
need,
the audience.
we need you to,
Cemetery.
yeah,
Okay.
notarize our signature.
Okay.
You want to make the motion on the cemetery deed?
Yeah. I make a motion that we sign the cemetery deed, lot number 409, C and D,
Entire cemetery.
entitled cemetery. Okay, I didn't have that, so.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the cemetery deed lot 409 C and D in Tyler Cemetery. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're going to skip over, Seth is going to come in tonight and talk about what's on the agenda for summer and what new programs and how they're running and what he's anticipating to see this summer. So when he comes in, we'll just take him. Okay? He's at a meeting right now with his staff. Oh, I signed on your spot. You didn't.
Looks like it all loaded agenda, doesn't it?
It's on that paper I just gave you.
Can you sign as witness too, please?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Have a good evening. Okay, David, you're up. You're a busy beaver tonight. You got lots of things here.
do the paving bid first?
Sure.
You guys have one?
I think we do, David.
Keeping you awake?
We are. Well,
You wanna go down?
Now, you guys willing to split it up to save about 4,000?
It's going to save 4,000, I'm willing. How about
Okay.
everybody else?
Any concerns in doing so? Do you have any
No.
concerns?
We've done it
You want
before.
one of the lowest?
I don't have the paving bid.
Oh, yes, you
do. Yes, right here. I got it.
And
Under old business.
while we're doing that,
Unfinished.
I could have them do the east side of the town office while they're here for $11,008.18.
Oh, that's screwed.
I can go down with hers.
Then we'd at least have one side done. So I would recommend going with all-state asphalt for the reclaiming and chloride and rolling, and lane construction for the paving for $153,311.54.
Okay, I make a motion that we go with all-state asphalt for the reclaimed grade roll and calcium, and with lane construction for the
Paving.
paving.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to go with the Allstate asphalt and lane construction for a total bid of $153,311.54. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Now, would you be interested in doing the east side of the parking lot for another $11,000? That'd be coming out of the parking lot fund. Get one side done,
Yeah.
while they're right here. $11,008.18.
11,000.
$8.18.
I make a motion that we do
East side.
east side parking lot for an extra $11,008.18.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to the east side parking lot for an extra $11,008.18. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who would do that? Who would do that?
It'd be split just like that. Same way. Okay, now on to the dump truck and dump body and everything. We were actually hoping to try a truck out with an automatic this time, but the price came in at $174,292, and we only got 160. So that puts us back to the manual from the Lowry for $158.54.
So the difference would be 14,000, what's that again?
Yeah, 14, well, what that we have would be $14,292 more than what we got.
But there's also, sometimes he has enough money left over in his, he has several budgets he's got going, and sometimes he has enough left over. Do you want us to, is that what you prefer, or what?
Well,
We
we were going to try one just to see how it worked. All the other towns are doing it. We've tried one out.
well,
Seems pretty decent.
$14,000 to try is not,
Well,
you know.
we'll be stuck with it for 12 years.
yeah.
We realize that.
Yeah. And this was been run by the finance company, finance committee again?
We've got the okay, it's just whichever way.
Yep. I feel that if you have the extra and you can hold it, if you have that holdover, if that's what you really want,
Taking out of my regular budget with the
the
leftover.
difference,
Yeah.
the 14,292, I don't have a problem with that.
Yep.
But maybe the others do, because this is exactly what was, you know, voted was the 160.
Lowry didn't have an automatic to.
The Lowry did, but he forgot to bring it and he faxed it the next day. So it's 170, but I can't accept a bid. If we threw all the bids out and you went, that'd be different, but I mean.
So a day late and $4,000 difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
But you're gonna have it for 12 years.
Right.
Which would you
Yes.
prefer?
What do you say?
Well, I don't particularly care for those automatics and those fire trucks. I mean, I suppose it's more preference than anything else, but I just don't really like them that well. I'd rather see that tanker with a standard. But if that's what you want to do, is get an automatic.
Well, we've
That's
come a
fine
long
with
way
me.
so far with those.
Does it have the pull power? I mean, you know, I get what he's trying to say with the manual transmission. You can gear it right down and really lug, you know, pull.
The one that we tried out, well, is actually Dummerston seems to go pretty good up there.
So you did get to try it out.
Yep. Yep.
And they've had no problems, because I kind of, now, you know, with the transmission.
Guilford's got 2, and they actually got the 3rd one coming.
Oh,
It would
Those are
save
tandem.
on your arm and your left
Knee
leg.
in the winter.
and your left leg. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
It's strictly up to you guys. We don't have a problem if we stick with the manual or whatever. But,
Okay.
I mean, we put
But
it
what
out
would
there.
you prefer? Would you prefer the automatic?
Okay.
Yep.
And which trucking company here?
That would actually be Clark's.
This one.
Now, the next thing is the trade. You want to trade it in for that or try to sell it outright?
The trade-in is the
500.
7,500, yeah.
7,500, yeah.
What do you think they would say if you told them that you wanted 10 for it? And that was the deal maker?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
can try it.
Got nothing to lose.
And the bottom line would be the,
Well, it would be 174, 292, but if we got 10, just,
right, I know, but first we'll go that, it would be one, what is it, what is your amount? I would have to make a motion
the
with two
total
different,
bid,
no, with two different numbers
the
here.
first
Next
one with the
page, please.
7,500 is 174, 292.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's total, but what we have in there is, the motion would be to expend the 160,000 that's in the capital plan. That's what the motion, part of the motion would be. The second part of the motion would be to expend $14,292 out of money that you're going to hold back from your budget.
Okay.
So moved.
Let me ask a question first, David. You asked if we would prefer you to try to sell it outright. What would be the difference in what you could get if you sold it outright?
We've never tried it, we're not sure.
So,
You could try for 15 and see what you get.
and you could get absolutely no nibbles on it and be stuck with the truck and not get the
And be
training.
out more money.
Right.
I personally think that he would be better off trading it.
It sounds that way.
I mean, you can ask them, I'm going to go with the amount of money here,
Mhm.
all right? And if you could save that money, then
Okay.
so be it, okay?
All right.
All right, my motion would be that we go with Clark Truck Company and expend the $160,000 that was voted for in the capital plan, trade the truck in for the 7,500 and more if that's possible. You know, I don't know if you want to add that to the motion, but, and then take the $14,292 from leftover monies in his budget.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of a dump truck from Clark Truck Center at the price of $160,000 from the capital plan with a $7,500 trade-in, and to allow David to use $14,292 leftover funds from his budget. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'll pass those around.
This one I have.
This is for the school.
Okay. It's not the same one I have.
No, you probably had the one for the rec.
You got extra? You're lucky.
This is to have the school parking lot sealed. We're actually going to have to, they're going to have to come over 3 times because everything going on at the school this year. So I just figured stick with the local guy, save us some. And
We've used him before anyway,
he
haven't we?
did the pool.
Yeah, he just did the rec center, did a very nice job,
Yeah.
too.
And he said he could do the school for $8,624.80.
Wow.
Does this come out of the town or the school?
This is out of the
Paving?
Paving.
parking lot.
Right, yes.
It has to come out of town.
Yes.
Saves money. I move that we authorize David to have Tri-State asphalt sealing, take care of the school parking lot for the sum of $8,624.80.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to allow David to have Tri-State asphalt sealing, seal the parking lot at the school for $8,624.80. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Now on to town line. I haven't heard back from anybody. I know that Tom was working on stuff to do the next section, but I haven't heard back.
And I just would like to make a comment. We all know the discussion we had at the Guilford Town Select Board meeting. David, the next day, reached out to the families that were involved in that road and had an absolutely wonderful conversation to the point where they called me and commented on what a great job he did, how wonderful he was to deal with, and they were just very pleased with the whole conversation and the way he handled it. So I would like to publicly thank you for being so kind to the people that we all represent. I just always think it's great when we hear a compliment from work that's being done for a staff member in town, so thank you.
You don't get that much.
you.
No, we don't. So, I was very pleased to get home and hit my answer machine button and get a phone call, and I actually called the people back, and they just raved about you, so thank you.
Welcome.
Do we need to ratify that expenditure of $600?
I think we do, because we haven't met again since.
Right.
So, David, if you want to give a little overview of explanation real quick, and then we can make the motion to ratify it.
I remember all that.
They're surveying the Lowry
For
Road.
adding, for the surveying and the addition, trying to remember. We were splitting, it was 1,200.
$1,200 to get it started.
Because it was more than what it was going to be.
Right.
And it was going to be another 600 out of our portion.
Right.
And Lowry Road has been, for folks out there who haven't been part of the conversation for 100 years, Lowry Road has probably been an issue for 100
Right.
years at least.
Well, the $1,200 was to get started.
Right.
Don't forget, there's more coming.
Well, that 1,200 was split. We've already
Yes.
were to do, I can't remember the first, no, the 600 is on top of the 12.
Right.
Because we split the cost with Guilford.
Right, $600.
So,
Because it was $1,200, I believe, to start, so that's, our split was $600, but more is to come. We haven't, we asked, or Patty asked, somebody asked.
1,200 on, I think our first portion was 12, and the 6 is another added. to it.
I think you're,
That's right.
I think
Another
you're
12
correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Right, the first was 12 and now.
Yes.
Yep.
You are correct.
So I need a motion to expend $600 in the surveying of Lowry Road.
So moved.
Second.
You guys are just so helpful to me tonight. It's been moved and seconded to allow David to expend $600 on the surveying of Lowry Road. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I guess I should add that's Vernon's portion. Guilford is in partnership with us.
Well, it was to ratify what we,
Right, but I mean for the minutes.
yeah. Sorry.
And the only other thing I got is, back in March, we noticed a washout along Stubbins Road on the edge, and we actually fixed it. It's taken us some time, but we were getting material at no cost. And our only actual cost was the last, well, when you did the bills, was $3,000 for the big rock that we had to finally purchase. But it was like $16,000 at no cost.
That's awesome, David. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank
It's
you.
fixed.
Can I ask you one question? Just as you go on Governor Hunt Road on that other end, I remember talking to you about this last year because we had several people had called up and complained about that hole. I know that's state, am I correct?
Yeah.
Have they fixed that? Because I didn't think so, because I've had a couple other people say, something about it. Is there any, I mean, what do we have to do to
I
get
can
them
give them
to?
a call and see.
Yeah. Yeah, because they
They've cut the corner so much.
They
it's
cut,
full.
and that's what I've told them, you call up and you make a complaint, and then, but you're cutting that corner, because if you go incorrectly, you won't.
I know, but I think the way that they've carved that road out is difficult when you're
It is.
coming off of 142. You really kind of have to go like this, and
Just gotta slow down.
Just
You're right,
almost
you're right,
to a
you do.
stop to
You
turn
do.
on there.
You really have to stop like you're turning
That's
the corner
exactly
onto
right.
another
Right.
street, instead of just taking a Y,
Yeah.
which is what everybody's used to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Seth isn't back yet from his meeting, so if I can have a motion, we will table Seth until he gets here and go on to unfinished business.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to table Seth until he gets here and go on to unfinished business. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, ordinances.
That bicycle ordinance and the mobile home one hasn't come back yet? Has not?
None of them have come back.
Okay, so we can just kind of
And
like...
if you remember, we gave the
Yeah.
attorney the whole package and asked him to just kind of look through it quickly and get them back to us.
Yeah.
Now, I did get an email saying that he got a phone call from Sandy, but he was busy with the Trans-Canada thing all day the day before, and he would try to get to it. And I think, if I remember the email correctly, because I didn't go through my emails again today, but I think he said that he was off today. But I can't remember if that was...
I had, there was a reason why you got the email was because I had asked Sandy about it last Wednesday when Katrina and I were here. So I just told her if maybe she should just call.
I was
I hope you
emailing him
don't mind.
anyway, because I was hoping to have him for tonight
Yeah.
anyhow, because, I'd really like to put all this stuff to bed.
And then Sandy and I mentioned, she said that she felt that maybe we could go through VLCT. And I don't have a problem with that. My only problem is like if maybe we had Jeff be the go thing because of her.
Well, we
I-
wouldn't have done it through
Yeah.
Sandy anyway, but the attorney already has that stuff now anyhow.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, in the future, I'm if that would save us some money too. I mean, I don't mind that. Sandy and I were talking about it, and I said the only thing is that, her being their vice president might be a conflict.
Okay, let's go on to new business.
We have one more old business,
Oh,
it's not on there, the policies
For the,
that was the missing motion that was never done.
I'd
Oh,
like to
for the
make a
police
motion
department?
that we accept and approve the police procedures and policies manual.
Second.
Yeah. Wasn't there a couple of issues on them?
Yeah, she said she was going to change those, so.
Should we wait till they are changed, or? Are they changed, do you know?
I have not seen
I haven't
anything.
seen
She
that.
was supposed to get you a signed copy of them.
To get it, but we haven't got it yet.
I can remind her.
We can approve them as...
As corrected.
As corrected.
Okay.
That's great.
Who seconded? Did anybody second? No.
Bobby. It's been, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the police policies as corrected. All those in favor, please, policies and procedures, I'm sorry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I don't want to read them again. I don't want to read them again.
I don't want to
Well-
copy them again.
And I don't mean to be a stickler, but if we don't get it right in the motion, then it
Yeah.
gets messed up in the...
Right.
Why, I said as corrected?
No, I'm talking to Sandy.
Oh.
You were just making sure.
Yeah. I just want to make sure Sandy understood that. Wasn't questioning her. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, we have cost accounting directive policy.
It's really not a policy, it's just a directive. That one, and the Budget Committee is a
Oh, yes.
directive. And the GASB 34 is a recommendation, and they're not policies, they're just directives, they have nothing to do with John Public.
We've already done the overtime one, didn't we?
But you have a policy that's different than what you accepted, so this
Okay,
one
so we
needs
need to get them out of here.
You need to get this one out of here.
So what you're saying is the cost accounting directive and the Gadsby 34 really shouldn't be in the policy
Right.
book, but we do need to change the overtime policy.
You've changed it. You
Well, we need to change it in the
repeal-
book.
You need to repeal this one.
Okay.
Yes, because we
You're
did
putting
it,
it-
and it's going in the new personnel
Personnel.
policy,
Mhm.
correct? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, Sandy.
I make a motion that you repeal the overtime policy and that you take the cost, I don't know if you want to repeal the cost accounting directive, definitely repeal the budget committee directive, it was for 2005 to 2006.
Mhm.
And take the cost accounting directive and GASB 34 right out of the policy book.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to repeal the cost accounting directive policy. In essence, we're going to repeal all of them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to repeal the cost accounting directive policy, the overtime policy, the Gadsby 34 recommendation, and the Budget Committee directive policy from the policy book. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I think now we need to have a motion on transportation for a senior bus.
I make a motion that we authorize the van driver to use his or her discretion in allowing or refusing persons with compromised health issues to ride the bus.
Second.
You'll never read that.
It has been moved and seconded to authorize the van driver to use her discretion in allowing
Or refusing.
or refusing persons with compromised health issues to ride the bus.
Oh,
All those in
nice.
favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I think also, too, we should send a directive asking for an emergency card to be filled out by each member of each passenger on the bus. So if there is a problem, Cookie has easy access. It'll only take people a few minutes, and they can list their medications and stuff. So when she has to take people to the hospital, if she has to take people to the hospital, they have all that information right there in front of them, and it makes it safer for the patient.
So moved.
Second.
I have to make that out.
That was a motion.
It's been moved and seconded to ask the van drivers to make sure that there's been an emergency card filled out for every passenger on the bus, including contact person and medications, should anything happen to anyone on the bus that they need medical attention. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, got it.
Who would make the little form up?
I think she can talk to Seth. I think Seth already has one made up.
Sally said the school does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're easy enough to get their hands on, and if she needs any help, I'm sure we can help her. But I know Seth has them. So I filled them out for my kids. Also, Dick McNary has graciously offered to be our representative on rescue, so I'd like a motion so we can appoint him as our representative.
I would like to make that motion.
I'll second it.
It has been moved and seconded to place Dick McNary's name as our representative for rescue. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'd like to publicly thank Dick for coming forward and offering to volunteer for the town.
Yes. Good man.
There's another policy, it's a purchase order policy, which hasn't been followed for a long time. And Sally, we all thought it had been done
Oh, I
already.
remember that
But we
one.
can't find where, in the minutes, where it was repealed.
I wondered when that stopped, because
Yeah.
when I first got on the board in 2008, I'm looking, where's the purchase orders?
Right. They haven't been done, and I had researching it
done
back to
them since they got
1991,
Really?
up
Nope.
to 2010, I believe, and she didn't find where. Been
Well-
repealed, but it's not been followed.
Well, he's been here since, what, 2004, 2005, right? And he said they weren't
Yeah,
done.
Never seen
and
it.
Sally says it's not used, so we might.
Well, I've seen it.
Yeah, might as well get
Repealed.
get rid of that tonight then. That'll be a second one. And I'll make that motion that we repeal the purchase order policy. These must be in alphabetical order.
1992.
Yeah, let me see. Purchase order, there we go.
It's been moved and seconded to repeal the purchase order policy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh,
Anything-
that'll take care of it. Just rip it out of the book.
Well, this book
That's what
keeps
you-
falling apart
Okay,
anyway.
I have a way to keep them together,
Yeah, we can just write repealed on it.
and I'll put it in.
You know, that looks like, see, when I
was
worked
just gonna
for,
take like a string through 'em or something.
when I worked for the Army, we used to do that, you know. Go through, when in doubt, rip it out.
We just repealed it.
Yep.
Anybody see anything else that,
Whoa.
Yeah, once you've gone through the policies, I have binders
what
ready to go in,
happened?
and they'll be then
Put a bolt
indexed
through 'em,
by
won't you?
number, not
Guess I'm gonna
by
have to.
the way they are now.
okay.
Okay, so once you've gone through them, we'll index them by number.
I just destroyed your work. I don't know what happened. I tried to open it. What about that bicycle one? I mean, I don't mind that one. The one I really had a problem wasn't that one, it was that mobile home
I
one.
understand the mobile home, the state's made even more changes in that, so.
So I would say, I would wait for the mobile home to come back, but I don't think we need the bicycle one, do we? I mean, we could get rid of that one. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys. But, I don't know.
Well,
That's-
if we repealed it, might save some money and not having the attorney have to look at it.
Yeah, it's already up, yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, but maybe he hasn't
may not
looked at
even looked at
it.
it.
That's right.
I also wanted to ask about the dog officer one. We don't have a dog officer,
Right.
Well, no, we don't.
and we actually had talked about the police department having that responsibility. So, you know, this talks about the dog officer having to attend to the dogs at least once a day, if not more often, to make sure that they have food and water.
That's when it was down the town office.
Right, and you know, we don't have it at the town office anymore, so why keep things on the books that,
I make a motion to repeal the policy on limits of doghouse and care of impounded dogs.
Yeah.
is that a yes or a second or a yes?
I meant second. I'm sorry. See, it
Well, I
was,
started to make the motion, I didn't want you to go, I didn't second it. It's been moved and seconded to repeal the policy of maintenance of doghouse and care of impounded dogs. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
got
Aye.
any extra nuts and bolts there? Okay, because I'll be up to get them.
Disposal of brush and leaves, David said that was no longer pertinent.
Say that again,
The
Sandy.
disposal of brush and leaves is no longer pertinent.
disposal of personal, I gotta get there, so, you know, and I'm not very good at reading something so minute.
When you get that
That's,
over there.
I know, you're older than I am, so you should know, right?
I read it.
Disposal of leaves and brush, and that's,
It's right after the Gatsby.
oh, I got it, but is that, you said what about it?
David said that was no longer. That was 1991.
All right, then let's get rid of that, too.
So,
Yes.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to repeal Highway Department internal procedure for disposing of brush and leaves. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Right.
Probably handling of injured cats, unlicensed dogs, and small animals.
That's what I was just getting to that one.
Wait a minute.
It's just a couple over from there.
No, say, what was the name of it? Injured animals?
Handling of injured cats, unlicensed dogs, and small animals.
Now, does the police department have policies in there? I mean, we're going to have some sort of policy about that.
And it's fine if we want to keep it, but we need to update it. I mean, adopted May 20th, except 1974, and, re-adopted December 22nd, 1988. It's a little dated.
Yeah, I get you, but it's just that,
I think we should have a policy pertaining to what's going on now. Even
I
if
think
we
so,
add it
too.
to the- But
Absolutely.
even if we add it to the police policy and procedures, and I think there is something in there. No, there's not.
No, there's not.
There's not. But maybe we need to add
And
that
there's
in
nothing
there.
about dogs either.
We need to add that in
Nothing.
there before we approve the police policies and procedures, because they are going to be the dog officer.
because I got, the dog one, I don't know where it is now, but
It's an ordinance. That would be in your purple.
Oh, of course, that's what it is,
Yeah.
exactly. You're right.
But it seems like this should be linked to the ordinance.
This should be an ordinance.
It's
Well,
part of the dog ordinance.
Can we do that? Make it a part of the dog
We
ordinance?
can ask them.
I mean, we don't want to do away with that ordinance.
No.
No, because we really need a guide,
And that ordinance
that
should be
stuff.
updated too.
yeah, oh, definitely.
Guilford's has much,
But if we bring this over, we haven't even looked at this one.
well, we haven't done the ordinances yet either, so.
Well, if we bring this over, then when we do the ordinances, then we can look at it. I'll make that motion for the policy of handling of injured cats, unlicensed dogs, and small animals to be a part of the dog ordinances.
so, second.
It's been moved and seconded to have the policy handling of injured cats, unlicensed dogs, and small animals be made part of the dog ordinance. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And the policy governing lunch and coffee breaks.
Well, they kind of had to do that because when, years back when I was treasurer, I can't remember who it was, but someone went to the select board and said that they they were entitled to coffee breaks and they wanted them. And it was true. I mean,
By
they
the way,
certainly were.
otherwise they are, yes.
Yeah, and so that was fine. They definitely were. So that's why that was.
Right. But
I
it
would think
says,
it'd be part of the
It
personnel
will be,
policy.
it would be part of
It
your
should-
personnel.
should be.
Some of these policies will,
should be,
you should incorporate them
Right.
into your personnel manual instead of having them as separate.
because many of the hourly paid employees.
What
work
is
during
that under? What's
It's
the name of
under,
it?
there's the one right after the handling of,
Oh, yeah, sure, because I,
under lunch.
lunch. Well, then I'll make a motion that we take the town policy governing lunch and coffee breaks, move it to the personnel policy, and update it at that time.
Second.
Sound good or no?
It has been moved and seconded to remove the town policy governing lunch and coffee breaks and bring that to the personnel policy.
And update it
And
at
update it at the time. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 It's just really amazing when you look through these books and you see the names. It just, you know, it just is amazing.
I know.
Peter Skibnowski, Cortland Dunkley, just,
The policy on multiple roles is an addendum that's part of the personnel rules and regulations. It doesn't need to be in here.
If you see my mother's in 1978 to 79, it's time to leave.
yeah, that doesn't need to be in here, so
Some
we
of it
can,
repeal it,
What is that one?
because it's an addendum.
Are we moving on to the next
Or
one?
just remove it from the book,
What are we talking about?
town policy on multiple rules.
No.
because it says it's an addendum.
Yes, that
to the
should be
policy.
moved to the personnel policy too, yep. And updated or whatever at the time. So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to remove the town policy on multiple rules from the town policies and procedure book and placed in the employee handbook, personnel policy.
Now,
And
the
updated,
newspaper
yes.
policy.
Got to vote.
Oh,
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes have it.
Just waiting for the newspaper policy.
Oh, look at this.
What are you looking at?
Newspaper.
Oh, the newspaper. Oh, I had redone that.
It never got adopted.
No, it didn't, and I did the whole thing. Where is the new one? I bet I have it at home. How about I bring it for next time, okay?
And we'll replace it.
Yeah. Watch me forget it. I'm telling you.
I'll try to remember.
Okay, thank you.
Now, this has to have been updated.
Duh.
The overtime compensation
That's why we
policy?
just repealed this.
We just repealed this one
Okay.
because we just did that because we changed it from the 8 hours to the 10
10
hours.
hours, right, well, plus this one doesn't even, I mean, this is 1989, doesn't even speak to
No.
summer employees working overtime.
No, because we already did the other ones.
Okay, so we'll just remove that, we don't need a vote on it because we've already done it.
Right.
The extra police detail policy, that's part of the police policy.
Extra police detail, part of, so that should be.
That's in the police policy, so that doesn't need to be
So
in here.
this
Repeal it.
repeal, second.
It's been moved and seconded to repeal the extra police details policy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Are we moving too fast?
No.
No? All right. Am I keeping up?
Seth, I'm sorry, we started this because you weren't here yet, so we should...
I didn't expect to be here until close to 8 o'clock. So
Okay.
What about the next one then? Complaints against personnel, oh, that would be in our personnel policy, not, it wouldn't be the part of police, because this is our policy on how we handle complaints against the police department personnel. So would that be moved to the, or should it stay right
No,
here?
this says, if you wish to file a complaint about a police officer and regarding an aspect of police operations, please come to the department and request to speak with the chief of police. So this is about citizens complaining about a police officer.
And that is in the police policy.
And that is
And that
in the
is,
police.
yes.
They already have them.
Yep. Then we should repeal that, so moved.
Second.
Once you started reading.
All those in
okay.
favor, please signify by saying aye.
The next one. Policy governing posting of public announcements on the town office building. Do we have to have a policy on that? Well, actually, you probably should.
Now, this one for preschool policy is only, I mean, that's 2004, so...
You're going ahead of us. Are we going
Oh,
to just
sorry.
leave this one here?
I think on the policy of posting on public announcements, I think it's very good, except we need to change Board of Selectmen to Select Board, and maybe just re-adopt it. Maybe we could do that next meeting.
Yeah. So this is to be changed, and revised and adopted next meeting? Does that sound good, Katrina?
Yep, I can revise it.
I think we have it. If you don't have it in the computer, we do.
I don't have policies in the computer.
No, I mean for, just a mental note for next,
Yeah, I'm gonna actually,
'cause, oh, look what it's written on. The backside of the select board minutes.
That's what you know what happened.
Oh, see? And you said something about the preschool?
Yeah, that was just adopted in
Oh, that's-
2004, so that's going to be pretty updated.
I didn't read it, so. The sexual harassment one, that should be in the
it is.
Employee.
Personnel.
personnel, so we.
So it really doesn't have to be in the
Doesn't need
policy
to be in the
book.
policy.
So we repeal it from here and move it to the personnel policy.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to repeal the Vernon's prohibition on harassment policy from here and put it into the, I'm
Personnel
sorry,
policy.
the personnel policy.
That's
All
okay.
those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. We could stop and take Seth and then go home if you'd like.
No, let's get this done. I just apologize for,
I know. Okay, now I have two
That's a
of them.
duplicate.
One of them's a harassment and one's sexual harassment. It's the same thing. So we could put the two on one, right?
Yes.
On one motion? Can we?
yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Okay, policy governing purchases of capital items.
We just
I think
did
this
this
is-
one, didn't we?
No, it's
It was
2000.
2001.
No, I'm thinking we did this.
We just looked at it at the last meeting.
I'm almost positive.
I know we did.
But
I'm
we
not talking about,
we didn't
Mike
update
Ball
it at
did
the
it.
last meeting, but we pulled it out because there was a question.
No, Mike Ball did.
Mike Ball did this.
He rewrote that whole
He did.
thing.
Did you guys adopt it?
I believe we did. I know
We
we
didn't
did.
get it to put in the book.
Capital plan. This is the capital plan. This is a, we can't repeal this one. We have to
No.
really
No.
look at this.
No.
And
it's a good
I know that he did rewrite that because of the question, there was the question, a couple of things that was in the town report, and it was, I bet you the town report reflects the fact that the new one's done. I'll bet you it does.
We'll check and see if it.
Okay.
Combination.
Yeah, try to look in the new, I mean, in our latest town report, because,
Well, we'll look in your minutes, because that's what you would have adopted.
Right.
well, yes.
And if you find it, we'll just replace this one with that.
Yeah. And,
The reimbursement agreement,
when was this? It never got signed. Oh, yeah, there it is. 2005. Is that what it is?
it's really two things.
Well, I don't mind this one, because this is what you want.
The first one, form here is for training, that if you don't, if you go to the police academy and you go to work for the state police after, within 6 months, you're supposed to pay 100% of the cost of the training.
That's exactly right.
awesome.
That should be in the policy.
It's being challenged at this time through the labor board.
Really?
Because you're the union, if you have a union. So you want to have this one checked with your union, as far as the police go.
Oh, boy. I almost want to say that, I bet you that's out in limbo there somewhere, too. I really, really do.
It's not in your union.
And I don't mean in the, yeah. I'm talking 2 years ago, you know.
Hasn't been discussed since I've been on the board.
No,
Back in
I'm
the-
talking 2010 perhaps.
You did talk about reimbursement if somebody was signed up to go to the academy
And
and you
didn't
paid
go.
for it and did not go,
Just didn't show up. We did talk about that because it happened.
because it happened several times. It wasn't just one, if I remember
Mm-hmm.
correctly, there was more than one.
Yeah, but we did, yes, that, yeah, because
Yeah.
that happens all too often. Huh? Okay.
So you think this was updated?
I kind of do, but I'm not, I know that we talked about it, but see, we talked about a lot of them, but at home, I do have a book of new policies that we were doing. So let me look when I go home, and then if I have them, I'll scan them and send them to you, Katrina, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, these were just updated in 2005.
Right. The traditional, transitional return to work thing, that's just been done.
That was just done.
That was
Right.
just done, yeah.
The health and safety, I believe, was,
2009.
yeah, because that, yeah. Was it 2009?
Schooling and training is
Yep.
1992. And that's where that reimbursement
Right.
policy form went, reimbursement agreement. Went with that one.
Because because I know we discussed it, now that I'm thinking about it, because we discussed that if you were sick and unexpected things that came up, that was
That's different, but just pull a no-show is, and the town's already paid for it.
Right,
That's,
that's not,
wrong.
yeah,
and we had that happen several times last year.
yep, well, year before, too.
Can we wait and see what you have at home before we go do any more of these?
Well, any more of these, the training things, yes. But the select board rules, we just changed them ourselves.
Yeah,
The smoking thing ain't been done probably in years.
2009.
Oh, I wasn't on the board then. Remember, that was the 2 votes that set me on my living room chair.
The life expectancy and turnover of town equipment.
This is where, I don't know about this,
Okay.
but this is what I'm talking about with the capital plan too, because this
Yeah, it's
was
like
the,
the capital
this
plan.
is capital plan stuff.
So,
But what
And
about,
this is all, although we had, what year did we start the capital plan?
I'll tell you, 1990,
90.
I think it was 1991, 1990. Yep.
Because this is 1989, so this really is outdated, because the capital plan covers all of these issues.
I make a motion to repeal the policy on life expectancy of turnover of town equipment.
Yes, and refer to capital plan policy or whatever.
Yeah, repeal is because it refers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It has been moved, I haven't, was that a second, yes?
I'm sorry, yes.
It's been
Second.
Moved and seconded to repeal. If I don't say
Gee,
anything,
I
you say,
know, me
can say
too.
yes.
I know.
It has been moved and seconded to repeal the policy on life expectancy and turnover of town equipment and refer to the capital plan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Now, town office use, we
We
just
just did this.
did this,
I know I have this at home.
but this is the old one. Although, what we did
Let's just say people.
was just say people can use it again.
Yes.
Yes.
So this really defines what has to be done in order for people to use it.
No, this is, people can't use it.
Oh, does
It
it?
actually
Yeah,
says that. You
I have
cannot
the
use
other
it
one.
without somebody sponsoring it, right?
Okay, so we need to take this out.
You need, yeah,
And-
it actually has been replaced.
Okay,
You
so
don't
you
have
have
to
replaced
repeal
it.
or anything with
Okay.
that yet.
So out
Yeah,
it goes.
I knew we had already voted to replace it, but I didn't know if we had the other one somewhere. Okay, this is the Vernon Town Plan of October 22nd, 2009.
They're working on it.
Uh,
Working on it.
They are
You missed the
in the process of working on that.
caretakers, cemetery caretakers.
Yeah, and that's something that the cemetery committee proposes changes
Yeah.
to.
How did I miss that? I don't have it.
And we had started.
Me either.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No, that's why I missed it.
Oh, boy. It shouldn't be here anyway. It should be up in the Cs. Mine's over here in the Ts. Oh,
You know,
boy.
we kind of started in the middle of the book.
That's something that needs to be looked at by the cemetery.
Yeah, that's, because we,
Cemetery opening and closing, it's right here.
No,
No.
the cemetery caretaker.
it's the
That's all I
caretaker.
have.
We have, yeah, I don't even have, I have cemeteries up in here,
But that needs, this one needs to
but
be
that's the closing.
looked at by the committee.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have that one, so, and Bobby doesn't either.
You don't have it up in here, in the Cs? Cemetery Opening and closing, how about caretaker?
Conflict of interest, lunch, out to lunch.
No.
Okay,
Well, we started a couple of years ago to
we did.
change these. Town plan, that's
What's your
changed.
pleasure, cemetery committee members?
No, we'll,
It
we'll,
needs to be looked at by the cemetery.
right. We'll look at it then.
The
But
town plan is the planning
Is-
commission.
That's
right, and
theirs.
That's, so should we take that out?
Yes,
we should take the town plan out?
out of policies.
Yeah, it's
Of
not a
course,
policy.
it's not a policy. Where are we going to put it?
The town plan book.
Now, that sounds like, that would just
Word.
make a whole lot of sense.
Okay, I have this Town of Vermont Town Policy Revised. The Board of Selectmen at their meeting in April 2000 approved and adopted a revised edition of the Town Personal Rules and Regulations, which is attached, and I have nothing attached, but here it is.
Yeah, that's, we're working on that. That's
But this
the
doesn't
personnel
need to be
policy.
in here.
Nope. Nope.
Now, Town Van Protocol, we want to work on this one because we want to change the policy and put in language to allow the town van driver to make the decision.
This is just dealing with vehicle problems.
Oh, okay.
Right, and I do believe that there was a new one written by Cookie and David, I think, or the seniors,
one
I
here.
don't know which, but it was, and it was presented several times to the select board in 2008.
Okay, here's
So-
one in 2003 for a policy governing the use of the town van, but that's all that's in here.
Well,
about the town
I
van.
know I have that, I know I have a copy of that, so I'll scan that one through too. or
Okay, and
make a copy.
that one, if you want to make a note when you're scanning it through, we do want to make sure,
Yeah, because there's two of these. One was for the, with the vehicle problems,
Right.
and then Cookie had a new one.
She has her guidelines for Vernon.
this is April 2006. This
She
is
came
van
one
driver's
after.
duties. This shouldn't be in here either, but it also has the rider's obligation. So,
Because I know it was 2008, I believe, that she gave us
Okay.
another one.
okay, so if we can check on that.
Yep. Let me forget them all.
Can
I have
Katrina's
yours?
writing them down, right? Yeah,
Okay, thank you, Katrina.
I know,
What do you
we'll
need?
be
That
without her.
orange thing right there, yeah, thank you.
Policy for transportation, construction, and improvements. What do you think of that one, David?
There would be on the roads. We go by the state and town specifications.
Okay.
That's on the transportation construction stuff?
Mhm. Yeah, this is
So
a
this is-
policy from 2000.
This is an old one then.
Yep.
Should this still be in effect, or?
I think going to, because number 10 doesn't really define.
We don't have any zoning requirements.
So.
Never did, though.
It should be in there, I know.
So I don't know what
I
that
don't
pertains to.
understand that either.
I see it taken out.
Well, I don't know if Patricia O'Donnell, who was one of the signers.
Yep, there it is.
There it is, right there.
This
Big
is still in
bold letters.
effect.
Big black letter.
This is still in effect, you guys.
So can we revise this and take out number 10?
Now, David, what about number 10? These standards do not supersede any zoning requirements. If local zoning is more strict, then the zoning requirements shall
I
prevail.
lost him again.
We don't have zoning.
I know, so I don't know why that was in there. I
Can
mean,
we
I don't
take that
remember
out?
back 12 years ago.
Maybe you
I
thought
think-
that there was ever gonna be.
I'm
It
sure there was a
out
reason for it at the time, but that was, like I
Well-
said, 12 years ago, and tonight I'm having a hard time remembering my name, so.
I'm thinking that they were revising the town plan, and they were coming up with some things like that, and zoning was one of them, but people said no, so.
I don't remember on the planning board at the time, and I don't remember ever discussing zoning.
I think it was with Eldavise, what was her name?
Ellison.
No,
Edelson?
Edelson, that's it. I keep thinking of Eldavise,
Next one was 2000.
thinking of my German heritage
Yeah,
there.
this is for investment for trust funds. Sally hasn't said she has a problem with it, so. Volunteer appreciation. Do we
Wait a
still
minute.
do this?
We, what did we say about the investment? Keep going. It's outdated, repeal it?
No, leave it.
Keep it in.
Okay. I was trying to catch up because it all fell apart again. And volunteer appreciation. See, that's when we used to have a yearly picnic.
No, this was before the, yeah, you're right. They stopped the picnic the next year, the year after.
Well, they stopped it in 2009 or 8.
Was it that late?
Yeah.
I know I started it on the board,
Because
and that was
Dan was on the board
2000.
both times and we did it. And then it was right after he got done.
I'd like to see us do it again, because
I
I think,
really
I
do,
think we,
too.
you know, that's always been a huge disappointment of mine. I think we need to thank the people who are working for this
But you
town.
can't do it this year. We'd have to budget for it for next year, and I absolutely agree.
Oh, it's not that much money. I bet you we could take it, we could
Hey.
find it in the select board's budget.
You know what? I donated all the potato salad one year, and I don't mind doing it again. Huh?
Dane donated all the corn.
That's right. I don't
I
mind
bet you,
doing that
you know
again.
what, let's talk to Sally and see what kind of money we have in the fund. I bet you we could find, there'll be money left over in the select board's budget, and we could use that.
Because I think what happened was, it was supposed to be volunteer, and everybody that worked for the town came too.
No,
and-
it was always supposed to be employees and volunteer. Always. I think what happened was the select board didn't want to be hassled with it anymore.
Yeah, but I don't remember not wanting to be hassled.
You weren't on the select board.
Because I tried to put on one all by myself.
I'm not pertaining to you.
But, no, I know that.
This policy for volunteer appreciation is like, if someone leaves,
After lots of years, they can get them
Give a dinner.
dinner or something.
yeah.
So we could get rid of this and do a new one?
Well, really, one that really had nothing to do, I mean, it does mention the town picnic in here, but it allows appointed board chairs, committee members, commissions, all those people who volunteer, at the end of a full term in office. So say somebody volunteers for the town for 10 years and says, okay, you know, I've put in 10 years' worth of duty, my term's up, I don't want to volunteer anymore because my life has gotten too busy, they can get them a gift certificate to a restaurant or something to say thank you. I don't know how much it's even being used.
It's not.
No, it isn't. The last time we did anything was with, for service, and Francis, and it was a big cuckoo clock or something like that. It was beautiful. I think that was the last person we did that for. I
Maybe we
think.
could
Um,
tweak this a bit.
And it was actually Larry Shippey that did that. They got it started, and
Well, let's remember to ask Sally if we could find money and do the picnic this year and have it like in August. I think we used to have it more towards the end of the summer, if I remember correctly, but still nice enough that we had it in the shelter,
yes.
you know, and it's not that much work. I don't understand where the complaint was. I mean, you get some hamburgers and hot dogs, you know, it's a couple hours, and I just think that we need to thank people.
It was going to appoint you the cook.
That's fine, I have no problem with that.
Good.
In fact, we all cooked, if I remember correctly.
We all.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I
we're all
did, and I
saying-
wasn't even on the
we're
board.
all
I mean,
saying
like I
thank
said.
you.
Yep, absolutely. I don't mind. I would like to do that.
And I have no problem running around getting everything we need if everybody else is busy.
No,
but
I don't mind
I think we
helping.
need to do it.
At all.
Okay, we'll talk to Sally about it, and we'll ratify that at the next meeting.
Well, we got some done.
I think we got it all done, didn't we?
No,
No, we started-
Well, the
we started
questions.
in the middle.
Okay, so are we, okay, so he yawns.
Well, he has to be to work at 5.
Training.
Oh, never mind.
But I still have to read it at the same time.
Oh. conduct of business by commercial enterprises or concessionaries on town property. Oh, that's probably one we should probably revise or something. We need that one.
Yeah, we do need it.
Yeah. But it's 1991, so it should be redone.
Well, sometimes just because it's old doesn't mean it doesn't,
True.
I mean, I think it says everything we want to say.
Pretty much. You want to change the term select board, Board of Selectmen to select board?
I mean, I guess we can do that. It really doesn't bother me, but somebody calls me a member of the Board of Selectmen.
It doesn't me either. And it used to you, because I'd say, Madam Chairman, you go,
I only do that to annoy you.
oh, is that what it is?
Doesn't really bother me any.
Well, then I'll remember that, because I have a lot of things I could annoy you with.
But I think we ought to try to...
We should try to make it uniform, yes, okay.
Consistency, there you go.
Okay, so we will change that to say board, no,
Select
select board.
The same thing with the...
Same thing with the next one.
Which is which one?
This is the
Absences.
policy governing absences for meetings.
I better read this one.
This
Yeah.
is really a tough one because we have a hard enough time getting
Yes,
people here.
because it says if you miss 3 meetings in a row, you're out.
Yeah. Well, it says the
Says
Board of
you may be.
Selectmen will determine
Well,
if
I
the
know,
person
but-
should be removed from that position.
Maybe the chair of a committee.
Well, what can happen with something like this is you can have a hardworking person on a board that misses a month because they're sick and somebody in the board doesn't like them, and it can cause them to be able to say, we don't want them on the board anymore.
It says without a valid reason such as sickness, job-related conflict, vacation, etc.
I know, it's
That's
different.
25% of the meeting for the year. That's not 3 meetings in a row.
Right, that's true.
And the bid policy was changed in 2008.
2008, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Bill submittal for payment,
That's right.
that was 2004. And
But that doesn't need to be in here.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
I
take
don't
it
know.
out.
Because it's about purchases. It's not like personnel type of thing.
But is
This
it-
actually is for like the treasurer's stuff.
Right, so it really isn't a policy.
Well, yeah, it would be.
Be a policy.
It would be.
What if she just wants to change the form and you have to,
Wouldn't it be like a treasurer's policy? I mean, wouldn't she have, like, doesn't the town clerk have policies that you,
well, they don't go through the...
and they don't come through in here,
Right.
so why
that's
couldn't
what
we
she's
say?
saying, this should go to the
Invoice
treasurer.
sheet should just be through the treasurer.
Yeah. So,
You just put the credit card,
we don't need to,
just take it out,
just take it out, yeah, all right.
the computer.
And let Sally know that she's gonna keep her own book of policies.
I'm sure she does.
She does,
Yeah, I'm sure she does too.
she's good.
Johnny on the spot,
I
that
know,
girl.
she doesn't miss anything.
No.
Use of town computer system policy, that was just updated in 2010.
Credit card one, is
It's
next.
just updated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we said that, I'm sorry.
Confidential information, that's personnel. Should be in the personnel policy.
Yeah, I would say.
So I move that we move that over to personnel, take it out of here and
Second.
repeal it from here, I guess.
Exactly, that we repeal the confidential personnel information from here and put it over into the personnel policy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 I'm a slave driver tonight, sorry.
We already repealed that one.
We're only going to meet once, we're going to get a lot of work done.
We repealed that one.
This one we've already repealed tonight.
Yep. That's why I said it.
It's all fine. Yeah.
Cell
Yeah,
phone
this
policy.
cell phone policy is new.
Yep.
No concessions, no.
See, I told you we didn't have a whole lot more to do on this.
And then the cemetery.
Cemetery opening and closing, this is,
Just
That is by recommendation of the cemetery committee.
We just need to clean up.
Clean it up, that's it.
Select
Yep. So that one should stay.
so that one just needs to say select board. Conflict of interest policy, I like this policy.
Yeah, but you were going to write a new one, weren't you?
No, I just brought this to a meeting to remind people about it. We never
Oh, that's
discussed. Actually, I don't see
Remember you
anything.
bringing it.
I don't see anything wrong with this policy. I think it still says exactly what we want it to say. It just basically says if you got a family member bidding on a job and you serve on a committee, you can't vote on whether or not that family member gets
The job, yeah.
the job.
Because, yeah, but there's a lot of people that, on committees that have family
You
that,
recuse yourself while they're talking about
yeah,
that
but
one
sometimes
thing.
you can't because there's more than one or two people, 3 people on a committee, because we do have one committee that has 3 people on that committee that have a family member that works for that particular fund or whatever. Well, no, I don't know. Susan's gone, right? No, Susan wasn't, she didn't have family. There's still 3 on there that have family on there.
All the same person? I mean, the same family member?
No.
So the
3
two-
different families, but all 3 of the, have families.
All of them have
Families that,
do work.
That do all the same jobs. So when you're bidding on somebody mowing the lawns around the cemetery and Bobby's son wants the job, he's bidded for the job, you can still vote, even though your son may have bid to do,
no, I'm talking, there is a committee that has 3 members on it, and each member has a family member that does a job
the same task,
on that committee. It could
the
be.
same task.
It depends on who's going to vote to see if it's your son or her son or my son that's going to do that. There's 3 of them on a 5-member committee that have family that works for that committee.
I just don't see how they can be voting on the same task. If you're hiring somebody to paint a fence, you're not going to hire all 3 family members to paint the fence.
But who's going to vote? You can't, because all 3 of them
family members.
want that job.
Have put a bid in, she's saying,
Then you've
okay.
got 3
That's not how she was saying it, so I was getting confused.
No, that's,
Well, you know,
That's what I was saying.
then maybe it needs to go in front of the select board then, if that's the case.
I think so.
But I certainly think that there needs to be a conflict of interest policy in
Absolutely, I
our town
agree.
policy book.
But I don't know how,
So, yeah, maybe we need to update this and say if in that kind of a situation, it needs to go, the Board of Selectmen will make the,
I absolutely agree
excuse
with
me,
that one.
the Select Board will make the decision.
Be consistent.
There we go.
Okay.
I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, so we'll update that one.
Because that's been a hard thing. It's not, any, it's
Yeah, I
not
only
a bad thing.
I know what you're talking about now. It happened once, yeah,
No,
last
it
year. Well, I'm sure it's happened more
happened
than once, but I remember it happening last year.
And the next one we repealed,
That's why I brought this in.
Yes, exactly right.
and the next one we repealed.
Okay, the cost accounting directive has already been,
Yep.
and I think we're done.
We are.
We are.
How
So,
about that?
Katrina, you have the
One
list
night.
of what we're going to work on, and the couple that we're just going to change from Board of Selectmen to Select Board?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And the ones that, if you can, have the ones that we're going to change kind of with us next week, and we'll just work on those and get it next meeting.
Next
And we'll work
meeting.
on those and get them done, okay?
Are we going to do this tonight?
Yes, I would like to do that.
Yeah, that was next anyway.
That has gone before the Finance Committee, and they've approved it.
So because it's not on here, do we have to make a motion to, under
New business?
new business?
Yep.
Okay. And I make a motion that we, what? Add the town clerk's copier under new business.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to add the town clerk's town copier bid on the new business. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
I was just going to say abstained. Any discussion?
This has gone to the Finance Committee, and I got an email that said 3 of 5 committee members have weighed in below is the majority opinion. It is reasonable to say that the copier is at end of life with regards to age and availability of parts, not based on copies. We believe that it makes fiscal sense to replace the copier based on end of life and current rebates available. We also want to thank you for providing a detailed explanation.
So what's your recommendation?
Just to authorize me to put it out to bid.
Put it out to bid, that's what I'll do then. I make a motion that we authorize the town clerk to put the copier out to bid.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town clerk to put the town clerk's copier out to bid. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye. Should I have put in there about the bid specs, to accept these bid specs, or no?
They're
No,
all with it.
they're already in there.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that is the only, that's it, so. We did Dick, policy, yeah, I know. I'm just making sure we don't have anything else here for new business before I call him. All right, that's the end of new business. Seth, sorry to keep you waiting. But once we had started, it was, one of those things you hate to stop because then it doesn't get finished.
No, that's fine. I didn't expect to be here till about now anyways. I've had 3 different meetings in 3 different places.
Love summertime, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's summer.
Well, first
It's
of
supposed
all,
to be summer, but yeah.
first of all, we want to welcome you and thank you for coming in tonight. I know your schedule is getting crazy right now, but what we're trying to do is get all of the board, all of the department heads in front of the board as soon as we can, so we can just kind of touch base with people and say, hi, we're the new select board. Great job you're doing. How can we help you? We really believe that the way the town's going to be successful is if we all work together, and we just kind of want to find out what your plans are for the summer, what programs you have going, how it's going with hiring summer staff.
Sure.
All of that stuff.
All right. Well, I have a few notes here. Just kind of bear with me. I'll go through them here. I kind of was going to use this time as a little bit of a wrap up to the kind of the year.
That's absolutely fine too. Whatever you want to talk to us about.
Also, what we have going on this summer.
Okay.
Really, this past year has been really a smooth year, a productive year for us. It really has done well. It's been something a year that I've been very happy with. Right now, the preschool is set to graduate 15 students Monday night. We're actually holding graduation over at the elementary school because we have so many kids now and so many family members that want to attend that we need a bigger space. So that's fantastic as far as the graduation goes. And we're actually holding, for registrations for next year, we already have our 4 or 5-year-old class is full for next year. We do have some spots available in our 3 and 4-year-old class. So that's obviously exciting. With increased numbers, our revenue has increased through the preschool, which is something that we looked at a few years ago and really felt that we needed to do. We expect the revenue this year to exceed $55,000, which will be up from about $51,800 of last year. So that's obviously a great thing.
Is that about half of the cost, or?
I could put those numbers to you.
Oh, you
It's
don't
not
have
quite
to, I'm
that.
just asking the question.
Yeah, no, it's a valid question. And I actually had all those notes prepared at town meeting night, but I don't have them.
No, Figures.
Yeah, I'd hate to quote a price to be held to it and not be accurate.
But that doesn't include the state money you get.
That will include.
That will include
yes,
state money.
The ADM partnership money. A lot of that is used for, and that's something I wanted to touch on briefly. Is that we are continuing our partnership with the elementary school. Actually, we partner with Brattleboro, Guilford, and Vernon as well. And which that does bring increased revenue to the program. It also brings a tremendous amount of more work to Linda and Sharon and Peggy's daily work schedule, which is great. It really is. It's a really nice program, but it does bring a lot more work to their plates, and so that's something that they should be commended for handling. and handling well.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, but that does bring in a lot of revenue. The partnership brings in revenue. It's used for payroll for those extra hours. That's where a lot of it's used. It's used to purchase supplies. We no longer carry a supply line for the preschool in our fiscal budget. We use the ATM funds to pay for those. So that's kind of where that is. Our after-school program also this year has had its busiest year. We've had 52 out of 152 elementary school students participate at some point during the year, which is tremendous. And that's, Mark and Allison and Ella do a great job for us.
So you had one-third participation.
Yeah, at some point during the year, which is, I sat down and looked at those numbers the other day and was like, wow, that's kind of remarkable. So I think that's definitely a testament to the consistency and the reputation that they've built as a staff, so that's nice. And again, our revenue there, obviously, with the change in the school time, our fees increased from $10 a day to $14 a day. And so our revenue should exceed $30,000 in the year for that, which is up from about $22,800 from last year. One interesting thing to take note of is that during the budgeting process, they hadn't changed the school time yet. So it may look as poor budgeting on my part because we will be over in our salaries for that line, but the revenue will cover it. It'll just look as though we overspent, but we hadn't obviously anticipated the school change, so we couldn't budget for that. And then the total revenue for the department. Get past all this money stuff, and we'll get into some program stuff here in a minute. But the total revenue for the department this year, right now, the same year last year, actually it would have been the same week last year. We're currently up about $15,000 from the same time from last year. That's something we look at every year. Ways to increase our revenue and offset our expenses without asking for too much, so to speak. I do see our revenue this year being at about $140,000 for the year for the department, which I think is pretty strong for a department. It's the size of what we are, which will be up from about $127,000 last year. So I think that's great. As far as the pool goes, we're looking at our 41st season that the pool will be open. I believe the pool opened in August of '72, if I'm correct on that one. So I believe this should be our 41st season, which is, it's holding up pretty well, I think. Is that correct? August of '72.
He wasn't
It
born
should
then,
be
so he
close.
doesn't remember.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but I do because I remember the opening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I have to base that upon my daughter being born was in '70. Yes.
I think it's August of '72.
It is,
So it's
72.
I think this will be our 41st season. I can't say our. It will be the pool's 41st season, and we're scheduled to open the 13th, the day school gets out. We have 30 seasonal staff that they're ready to go. There's certainly some people who are not returning this year that we're going to miss, very much so. But we will move on as best we can from that. We do have Vernon School's going to come over tomorrow. It's going to be a little chilly, but they're all going to come over tomorrow. Saturday we have the T-ball using the pool, and the next week we have Academy School, Dummerston, Northfield. They all come and do some field days there, and then we'll open. Swim lessons, 2 sessions scheduled as normal. Those will start the 25th of June. We have about 125 kids per session, give or take. That's an estimate, but it's about that. And then day camp will get started as well. Again, that's 25 to 45 kids each week in day camp. We have some new staff there that we're excited about. I think that they're going to do a really nice job. We did change our registering process this year. We now require a deposit of $25 per week that they're going to register. Anytime you change something, there's always questions as to why and how it's going to be implemented. But I
Did you
think
find a lot of people in the past have pre-registered and then
yeah,
the kid never showed up?
the challenge would be that I would get flooded with a pile of registration forms, registering for all 10 weeks, 9 to 5, all day, every day, and without a deposit required. And we actually got to the point where we went, wow, we have a lot of kids. And we still did have a lot, but we had too many kids, and we were turning people away. And then without a deposit, sometimes they wouldn't show, and that's kind of what brought on the change. not only did we turn townspeople away that could have used the service, but, then obviously the revenue wasn't there either, so it's kind of something that the rec board looked at, and I think that this is a good process, requiring the deposit, and it's worked well. People understand, it's kind of a thing where, well, this is different, why is this different, but they understand why. And then, we're going to be running a lot of the usual stuff we do in the summer. We have a free archery program. We'll be running sports camp, diving lessons. We have mad science camp this summer, which is something we haven't done in a couple summers. That actually takes place at the elementary school. We'll be doing our teen pool party, our youth pool party and camp out, which sometimes is just as much about how many staff members love to kind of camp out and goof around with the kids. It's actually a really good time. This year we're going to start, we're going to advertise some pickup softball, pickup basketball games. We always do a staff versus townspeople softball game, and it's been a really good time, and everybody keeps saying, how come we don't do this more often? Well,
Yes.
I don't know why. Why not? So we're going to just kind of advertise that, maybe Sunday afternoons if people want to come play softball, we can do that. And then probably some, basketball in the evenings, very informal, just to, come show up, swim, or play basketball and come swimming kind of deal. We're going to have Six Flags tickets available again. They're $33 a piece through the rec department. That's, it's $45 if you buy them at the gate. So we have those in hand now if anybody's looking to buy those. This summer, maintenance-wise, that's certainly a challenge for us at this point, is that as we get tighter and tighter with our budgets, that's always one area where you try to do more with less, probably. This summer is going to be, pretty much a painting summer. Everything needs to be painted. Also, I think probably now would be a good time to thank Dave, Stan, and Fred. Those guys are always willing to help us out. They helped us with the ball fields, getting materials, of course, the parking lot, the basketball court. I don't know how many people have commented on how nice the new paving looks.
So
Yes.
I said, it's not
Yes,
paved, it's sealed, but
absolutely.
it looks great.
It does.
So those guys are always willing to help, which is great.
Can I ask a question? While
Fire
you're
away.
You were mentioning tickets to Six Flags and stuff like that. I think that I had asked you a couple of years ago, perhaps, about the a baseball game. They used to have the rec department would take people from Vernon to the baseball game, Fenway Park.
We used to do that. It's a tremendous expense that if you don't pay, we have to pay up front for everything.
Then I would just say, you have to pay. You want to go, then you pay before you go. I mean.
Well, the challenge is if I buy the minimum amount of tickets, whatever it is, I don't know, 30, 40, or 50, I have to pay
That's right, you do.
up front for all of it. And if I sell 2/3 of them, I'm at a loss. So, and I can remember the last year we did that. It was like the day before. It was like, all right, anybody want to go? 50%. Here you go. We want to try to
that's
do
too bad.
something, and it just got to the point where it was financially not really
That's too
responsible.
bad. Yeah, it's too bad.
There are still some towns that are able to try to do it. It's a long advertisement period where it's a lot of work, and let's hope that we get this to go through well. So that's kind of how we got away from that.
My kids remember going with my mother, and my brother's children, and a lot of families in Vernon went with their grandmothers.
That was back before the Red Sox were probably where they
We're
are now.
talking the 70s.
And the tickets
Oh,
are
well,
expensive
you're right,
there now.
75. That was a big year for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Carl.
there we go. Then I do have the big project for this upcoming fall. Probably we'll have all the roofs done on all the buildings at the recreation area. Come July 1st, the monies will be in the capital plan for it. The one thing we'll be looking at is useful life on the bathhouse roof. 2 years ago, we had an estimate of 2 to 5 years left on it. I can tell you right now that the shelter roof has reached its useful life. It's ready to be replaced. So I think that even if we got an estimate that said, yeah, you got a couple of years left on the bathhouse roof, it may be smart of us to just say the shelter, we're going to just do it all at once as we had planned. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I don't know if that kind of makes sense, or does to me anyways.
Well, it does, but we can discuss
We can
that
discuss
at
it
a
at that
further.
point.
Yeah.
So the bid specs will be put together for that throughout the summer. We'll be working on that. We've started a website. That's actually, it's very early in the website stages. It's www.vernonrec.com.
Wow.
Pretty simple. You can get registration forms on there for the summer right now for pool pass and swim lessons and that sort of thing. Which it's been great. I get a phone call at the rec when I'm working in the pool, wanting a registration form. It's real simple. So that's actually helped us out a lot. We're still working on that, and we'll continue to work on that. So that's kind of what I have for you guys. I mean, I don't know if I know that you guys have any questions for me, or I know that you're working on policies and procedures. I know that was something that Katrina had mentioned to me, and I dug around and I don't know that I have policies and procedures. I mean, I have ways that I handle things, and I asked Sandy if there's anything that she knew of that was on file, and I don't know that there really is a tremendous amount of stuff out there for the rec department.
No, but that's a good idea, though, to have something in writing, and
You know what, I kind of remember something on WSIs and lifeguards and stuff from maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know what's happened to them, but I do remember talking about the qualifications of those folks, and that's really not anything that needs to be kept, I think, at the
I
town
have
office. Is
the
We have
old
job
ones.
descriptions I have that include that.
Yeah, I have that. I have the old ones. Back
Maybe
in
that's
the,
what I'm thinking of, but I remember more policies, though, because I remember,
I mean, there's guidelines and
Yeah.
expectations as far as like their shift is concerned, or just different things like that. I actually distributed them before I came here today. So that stuff I have. I wasn't sure that
really wouldn't be in the
would
policy
not
book.
really
No,
be a
you're right, it
policy
wouldn't
kind
be.
of thing.
I
I mean, I can find minutes from the 60s for you from
the
record meetings,
job
but as far as
description in
policies
2008.
go, I don't
I
know.
think I had a bunch of that
When we
kind
did
of
the job
stuff, so I'll look.
descriptions, did we do lifeguard?
There is a water safety instructor.
Water safety
yeah,
instructor, okay.
And then there should be I believe
I think there
there's
is a lifeguard. I
also.
think I
Lifeguard,
remember
yeah.
I
seeing
believe
I was
there's
just
both.
wondering, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a separate entity. I mean, many of them are both. They do both. They're certified
See, I
in
just
both.
remember this conversation from a lot of years ago, because at one time, the person had to be 16 to be a lifeguard, and that's no longer the case. So
Right.
that's what I remember is
Yeah.
that discussion. But
Yeah, they have to be 15 to complete the certification.
Yeah, we did them.
Yeah, great.
Well, I just want to say, not as the chair of the select board, but as a mom whose daughter worked for you for a lot of years, and
Yes, she
you
did.
smiled and said some won't be coming back. Kelsey just graduated from college 2 weeks ago and has spent, I think, 7, maybe 8 years working for Seth as
She
a
has.
lifeguard first, and then a lifeguard and water instructor, and then as a lifeguard, water instructor, and supervisor.
Yeah.
And I seriously want to thank you, Seth, for the job that you do with those young people. I mean, a person's first job is really what gears them for the rest of their life, and their work ethic, how they treat other people, and I think that you're a great role model for these young kids.
Thank
And
you.
I know Kelsey has had a wonderful work experience. You're the only place she's worked for.
But she kept coming back. so
Except
that's a
for
great
now.
thing.
Now she's working full-time and finding out what life is really all about.
Yeah.
But you did a great job with
Thank you.
her and with all the kids.
Thank
And you've taught them the value of hard work,
We try to. Yeah.
patience with people. When it's not always easy to be patient with people, but you do a good job in the community. And I hear nothing but good stuff about you. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
And I will miss her being home this summer.
We all will. Great. Well, thank you.
Anybody else have anything to add?
I just
All right.
think you do a great job.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, and all the
Thank you.
kids, and all your people that work for you work well.
We have
For
very
you.
good people that work with us. Yeah, that's makes things easier.
Other than Jeff, we've all raised teenagers, and we know it's not an easy task, so.
How hard can it be?
You want to see you in 10 years.